You're welcome to Greentip Podcasts, where we discuss environmental issues. Today, I have a very special guest that will be talking about plastic waste management in Nigeria. Without wasting much time, please, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. My name is Promise, aka the Plastic Guy. So I'm a Cameroonian by nationality, and I am equally a student of the University of Calabar, and I'm based in Nigeria, Calabar.
All right. So the second question is, what course do you study, and
Okay, so
from which university? You said University of Calabar already, right?
yes, so I actually study accounting in the University of Calabar. Yeah.
Okay, so quickly, we would like to know what really motivated you to take accounting. You are a plastic guy, but here now you're studying accounting. What really motivated you to study accounting?
Yeah, so actually my motivation to study accounting actually came from growing up most of the times, like children, there's this kind of way that your family kind of influences what you really want to do. Yeah. So it was actually out of some kind of family influence so that we can have diverse people in the family, not just having some particular set of people, but having diverse people in the family.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm from an African family too, so I know how parents and relatives try to influence what we become in the future. So I totally understand that. Yeah. So I would like to know, just like some of my audience would also like to know, can you tell us about your job in plastic waste management? What really do you do?
Okay, so actually my job in plastic waste management, it's actually me recycling plastics, turning the plastics that are supposed to end in our landfills and our water bodies, actually turn the plastics into a construction material, like which is known as a paving brick. Actually in Nigeria is commonly called interlocking tiles. So I turn these waste plastics which are supposed to end in the environment and litter everywhere, or end in land in the ocean, and bring so much havoc to the ocean mammals. I turn them into what will last for even more than 25 years, which is a paving brick. Yeah, that's actually what I do.
Wow, that's incredibly interesting. I like the idea. Turning waste into wealth.
Actually.
It's really interesting. Yeah. But as interesting as it sounds, what are some of the other prospects that you see in plastic waste challenges, as well as the challenges you face in managing plastic waste in Nigeria?
Yeah, it's just the way they look. Someone can look at them and just maybe think they are not valuable. They are just some kind of waste. But there are a lot of things in plastics. For instance, from plastics, we can get electricity. From plastics, we can get electricity from plastic. We can get other wonderful and beautiful things from plastics. For instance, from plastics, we can get lumber, which is used like in replacement of wood. You use like lumber for construction of furnitures and stuff like that. So you see, also from plastics, you can get electricity. We can get fuel. We can get fabric and stuff like that. So those are the prospect, the good things that are in plastics, and also the challenges equally, especially when it comes to Nigeria. You have inadequate capital to build up things, build up projects, and build up things around plastic waste management. You have even coming right onto the ignorance of the population. Most people are not really so conscious about it. You also have this kind of poor government policies, even though the rest of the world is running about to see how far they can arrange the climate crisis, but still yet the government has not really put those modalities in place which are really going to help and make the plastic work, like make the job good. Like they have not put those modalities in place where you have to which will facilitate the easy access of capital, equipments, land, and stuff like that to see how to foster and solve the waste problem in Nigeria. Yeah.
Well,
basically.
I can clearly see some of the prospects as well as the challenges involved in managing this waste. But just like you said, you just talked about some of the challenges and they seem quite huge, you know. So I would like to know, having faced these problems, have you had any regrets whatsoever since you started doing your job?
No, actually, I've not had any regret. You know, working along plastics is, can I say, fun? Is fun. So you see, so I don't really have a regret because it's not just about me. It's not just something I'm trying to work out for myself, but making the environment good, creating jobs for others, and that joy, especially in creating jobs for others, seeing that you can use a problem, create a solution, and also create jobs and stuff like that. So it just gives me joy, and it keeps fueling me to see that I realize something very great from it.
Impressive. The points are quite impressive. The conversation is good and I'm enjoying it. So let's talk about the government. You mentioned the government in some of the points you mentioned you were discussing earlier. I would want you to tell us specifically, in what ways can the government come in? How can they support sustainable plastic waste management in Nigeria, considering some of the things you talked about?
Okay, so actually, first and foremost, you know, for any government or for any problem to be solved, there's that need for awareness. So I think one of the things the government should do is to fuel in their effort into making people aware, bringing campaigns starting from nursery schools to primary schools, and also to right to the universities, in markets, in other social places and public gatherings, making sure people are aware, raising this awareness so that people will be aware of the plastic pollution problem, so that there's a way it is going to change their mindsets, and they'll be able to see the need of taking care of the environment. I also think that the government can also go ahead maybe to ban some of these, especially the single-use plastics. They are doing that in other parts of the world already. So the government can also ban one of these, like ban single-use plastics. I know plastics have already eaten up right into us, which is going to be really difficult for the government to ban everything completely, because it will be a great havoc to the economy, especially when alternatives have not been put into place. So that's one of the things I think the government can do. And equally, I also think that the government can bring up loans, grants, opportunities, financial opportunities, which will support and encourage people to get into, plastic waste management, because money will attract more people. But if there's no money, even if you have that idea or the passion, but the resources are available, you can easily be scared away. So I think that will also be a great aspect. And I also think that the government should lay a compulsory responsibility on all For instance, the government should lay compulsory responsibility on all plastic producing companies in Nigeria, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and all the other people who are one of the can I say manufacturers of plastic,
Yes.
single-use plastics in particular, can put a levy on them to either they tax them and already taxing them, but they can put that kind of compulsory responsibility on them whereby they are able to give back to the society in the sense that they maybe can also in their own aspects bring up programs every year like grant programs and some kind of educative programs to see how far they can help curb the problem they are contributing to. Yeah, that's the aspect I think the government, if the government can get into this aspect, then we are going to get a cleaner, a better, and a plastic-free Nigeria, so to say.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, in environmental management, there's something we call polluter pays principle. The principle
Yeah.
talks about the fact that firms, industries, or whatever establishment that is responsible in a kind of creating those waste should also take on the responsibility in solving the problems. So I think you made a
Okay.
very valid point there. And you also talked about the points are good. Very nice. Thank you so much for the insight.
Okay.
Before we go to one of the last questions, I would like to ask you, do you have any advice for young ones who want to venture in this kind of business you're into? What are your advice for
Yeah.
them?
So, like for young ones who want to enter into the recycling space, I will so much encourage them, and I like them first of all that they will have a clear reason why they are coming in. Because the world is so much talking about, for instance, everywhere you hear of climate change and stuffs like that. You should not just run in because of maybe you think it's somewhere where money will be fetched easily, so to say. Rather, but young people should come in with that mindset that they want to solve a problem, starting from their communities, starting from their own environment. They want to see it better. They want to see it greener. They want to see it plastic free. With that kind of passion, with that kind of motivation first. I know money is always behind everything, but let it come and let it be at the back. It should not be the first motivation, because if it eventually becomes the first motivation, then discouragement will easily set in, and which is not going to make a lot of sense. So they should come in. They are so welcome. It's a great place, and they should get that passion of saving the environment, creating jobs too, and also helping people and to make their lives better. I want to just encourage young people, any young man, young person listening to me, get out. What are you waiting for? The world has a lot of problems, especially plastic pollution and others. Come outside. That idea you have, fire it up. And who knows, your solution might become one of the most talked about all over the world. And there's one thing I came to learn is that the world is looking for people who have solutions to its problems. And so if these people can come out, doesn't matter your locality. Nobody knew Mark Zuckerberg until he founded Facebook. Nobody knew these great names. Nobody knew Tony Elumelu until he has been able to build what he has right now. Nobody knows. Somehow I can call her my mother, Zambi Mati of Kenya, the woman who has gone so viral because of her solution to the plastic pollution problem. Nobody knew her until she came up with the problem, and she's everywhere. People talk about her. People who have never even seen her physically do talk about her. So that's how it ought to be. So if you can get in with that solution, don't stop. The world is just waiting for you to come in. And if you come in, then I bet you, as you put in your best, God is definitely going to help you to see that you push it forward and bring the great results and the great impact to your community first and to the rest of the world. That's just what I have to say.
Awesome. That was quite a mouthful, but you've touched most of the sensitive points on that question. Thank you so much. Are you open to opportunities other opportunities in environmental management, or you're quite specific with your plastic problem?
Really, though I'm focused on the plastic program, but I'm open to other opportunities here.
Yeah.
When it comes to the environment, we are open to the environment to see that, because it's not only plastic pollution that is affecting our environment,
Yeah.
but we also have other things, other problems which are affecting the environment. So if we can come in to solve these problems, then it's going to be great. So I'm also very open to collaborate. I'm also open to share knowledge. I'm open to work with others to see how far we will not just only get a better Nigeria, we'll get a better Africa, and also equally a better world.
Wow. Impressive. So it has been a very brief conversation, but I'll assure you that we've learned a lot from your work. Thank you so much for creating time to come on this podcast.
Yeah,
So
I'm so happy to be on the Green Tips podcast. I'm really happy.
Thank you so much.
I really desire to be again and again on the podcast, man.
We'll feature you again as opportunity prevails. So how can you be reached in case we have other environmental professionals who wants to collaborate with you?
Yeah.
How can they reach
Okay,
you?
so concerning how I can be reached, you can reach me easily on Facebook with the name Suh Promise. Suh Promise is spelled SUH and Promise. And one of the things you easily know that I am the one, I go with a nickname on Facebook as the plastic guy. So when you search and you just see the plastic guy, yeah, that you just know definitely I'm the one. And then on other contacts, you just check the description box. You see my phone number, and you also see my WhatsApp and others which you can connect to me. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for
I'm
your time.
I'm really happy.
Yeah.